Hello YouTube dwellers, my name is Gelden, and welcome to my developer commentary for one of my Portal 2 maps. I said I would do this series, I promised, although that episode of my Let's Play where I did make that promise probably isn't released yet because I just have so many episodes sitting around. But anyway, this is a Portal 2 map I made. It's actually, I like it best as my Portal 2, as far as my Portal 2 maps go, and it was requested to me by my friend, my really good friend Jacob, one of my best, and he actually played it over on his channel, so go check that out. This is just me running through the map and explaining my thoughts that I had whenever I actually made the map. I was originally going to make the map on camera, but decided against that. Simply because it wasn't working for my thought process, which is surprising, normally it helps it. But anyway, now here I am, and I'm going to run through it with you guys, so without further ado, let's just jump in. Now, at the time I'm recording this, he's already uploaded two of the three parts, so I've seen those two parts. I think he's uploading the third one today that I'm recording it. Oh yeah, I remember when I used that. It actually says like 25 or something, and also something I discovered is that it puts a Cave Johnson voiceover to you entering the test chamber. I did not know that at all. So apparently that's a thing. Alright, let's jump in. The first thing you see is this big long hallway, and I wanted that so bad. I wanted that long hallway with a couple things to do. First of all, you have a goal, you have a button here. He actually didn't know what these things were, and if you don't, they just hold buttons, you can't step on them, or they just hold cubes, you can't step on them. So it's a question of what this button does, and you can't even find it out because you can't step on it. That was the goal. So I give you that. I wanted to tease him with this exit right here, saying, okay, it's just right here. The exit is literally right here. But he didn't really catch on to that, so that's the initial impression. I also, through this, give you a goal with the edgeless safety cube. I wanted him to discover that he really absolutely needed one of those in order to pass. That also indicated that I would only give him one of those later on in the map. I do only give him one. Then I also give him a goal. I give him up here to move on. He didn't catch on to that either, for the record. I'm expecting most of you have watched it already and that he may have linked you to it. I don't know if he will or not. Anyway, this is the only way you can actually go, is past this emancipation grid. So even if I shoot portals, I can't just lead out of here to kind of destroy them. So let's go into this room. Instantly you're presented with a couple things that are going on. One is this, and oh boy, I'm just gonna let you watch this video on that part. It leads you to this button. Press the button, you can see it times over there, so it's going to remove the emancipation grid, and also so is this button. In fact, let's go press that right now, and now the emancipation grid is completely done. There are multiple ways to complete this test. I've had a couple people play through this map, and most of the people have just used this area as momentum. I initially wanted you to use this area with a double loop right there, but I don't care. Any way of getting up there is a way that I support, because I believe in map makers giving their players a lot of freedom. Then of course you've got this 3 buttons, you can't step on them. I could have had that happen, but I really like the design of these buttons. I like how they look. They present you with a little less freedom, but in a way that still makes you feel free. But as well as that, clearly you can see that it lifts up this panel and leads to somewhere. Also, before I move on with the test, I just wanted to say, mapmaker's note, leave as many walls white as you possibly can. I could have made all these walls black, except for this one because I would have needed it for the momentum. But now it's more confusing because it's like, not just this wall that's white, it's not going to pop out to them. So they're going to be presented with many more options, and actually I've seen people try and jump off from this edge and it just doesn't work. And what's the harm in putting a portal on this edge? There's absolutely no harm whatsoever. It's not going to alter the test anyway. So mapmaker's note, always leave as many walls wide as you can. Give them a really nice sense of freedom. Let's double loop over here. Let's not double loop over here because I need to press this button. Let's press the button, and let's just jump through here. I actually made that. Let's turn this off, grab the cube, here's where things get interesting. You also see from this button an antline wire leading this way. Where does it lead to exactly? You may have already seen it, this emancipation grid. So this allows you to take the cube simply over here to this button. Really easy, really convenient, just quick teaser, quick little intro, gives you the concepts that I'm going to use later on in the map, and allows you to learn them for yourself. Let's put this here. Now, I'm assuming that as you put this here, you're going to be facing this way. Meaning, you're going to have line of sight right to there. You're not going to need a symbol or an antline wire or anything along those lines. You'll just need that line of sight. Where does this lead? Blank chamber. Why blank chamber? Well, walk back out here and you instantly see this white wall. Everyone seems to catch on to this, the fact that I left this open but these walls look gray. So momentum leap into here is going to help you move on. There's literally nothing more we can do in this room, and I expect you to move on, and most people seem to catch on to that message fairly well. So now we're up here, we have the ability to be up here. All that was to unlock the momentum chamber. I love unlocking momentum chambers, and of course I don't want you returning to this area because it's crucial that you don't interfere with any of the testing elements, so I put an emancipation grid here. As well as that, I thought it'd be cool to fall into an emancipation grid just because it seems like inevitable doom and it just looks so cool. It looks so scientific and cool. Okay, so that's where the convenience comes in. Next up, I have a thing where I like the second stage of one of my puzzles to always be a laser test. I really just like that idea because it seems like you're moving on from that simple put the cube on the button idea to a laser idea, and it just seems so technological and cool. So immediately, when I was creating this test chamber, all the walls were white originally, and it was actually like backed up a little. I decided I wanted to give myself just this much space for a simple laser test, because laser tests, the thing about them is they're very analytical. You can really most Portal 2 tests are analytical as it is, but laser tests in particular, I consider them, if you played Minecraft, which most of you have, let's face it, most of you have, I consider it to be the redstone of Portal 2. And Portal, although that they didn't have the lasers, they had the light energy orb things. But that's why I consider these to be. It's just a really easy concept that can be taken really far. And I really liked that. Now, immediately you can go over here into this room, but the first thing you're going to need is a button. And also you're met with a turret. We'll handle that later. And you've got an emancipation grill over here. Grill and grid. Alright, so as I've been saying this entire time, I've been giving you buttons that you can't step on. So of course the instant I give you a button to step on, you're going to step on it. What does it do? Antline wire leads right there, just leans up that platform 30 degrees. So you've got a laser, and you can't get it into here by any means at all. It's just not going to work, no matter what you do. Because I have this angled platform over here that just completely screws everything up, and even if I didn't, there's a non-portable wall about that. But the instant you tip this, it's a really easy test to go through with. It's just a triple loop right there. What does that do? Antline wire leads to here. It lowers this thing the instant you step off of it, brings you up. It's really easy. Really clear, concise motions in this test. It's the, like I said before, the white walls that really gives you that sense of confusion and freedom. This button right here, antline wire. I wanted lots of antline wires here so you can see exactly what's happening. I'm presenting all the facts to you. I'm not hiding anything from you. It leads to something over there. So what does it do? Let's look at the antline wire. Okay, it leans that 45 degrees. Now, we don't have anything to hold down the button, so we just have the laser right here. Let's press this button and put this right there. Now, that button, as you heard, ticks for 3 seconds. And therefore, that's enough time for you to place a portal there for an instant so that it can reflect into that little device, which I'll talk about in a minute, which will activate this cube dropper. Now, why did I make that complicated looking device? It's really simple. I could have just put another one right down here. Well, let's grab the cube real quick. I'm just going to bring it with me for the sake of explanation. When you're entering this chamber, I didn't mention this before, Would you rather just see 2 of these things, or would you rather be intimidated a little by this thing? Like, at first glance, you see it and go, oh god, what does it do? But then you realize, okay, it's something stupid and simple, and it just puts a laser through the thing. Most people are going to argue against this. Most people are going to say, why would you need such a thing? Why do you want such a thing? Why complicate this up? Well, it's all about the terrain. Without it, it just feels a little flat, and it just feels a little undecorated, and I wanted that feeling. It's not about how it looks, it's about how the stage feels. I could have done without the feeling, sure, but I wanted to make something a little cool and unique for this laser chamber that made it a little more intimidating. A little more so than lasers already are, because some people are good with lasers, some people aren't. Okay, you've got a cube now. You can't take it past here because there's an emancipation grid there. Logical step is to put it on the button, which, as you know, is just going to raise this platform. Well, how about we redo this test, and you'll notice that the antline wire also leads from here to this emancipation grid. So move your portal, it'll reenact it. We'll put this here, we'll take the cube, and we'll drag it through the emancipation grid. So now you've got a cube, and now you're in here in which you need a cube. Let's just get rid of this turret. Now, as you'll be able to see right there, there's another turret over there. That's a little hidden from this grating, and this grating is definitely very, very useful for the sake of my tests. Let's put this here. I didn't fall on it exactly, but you know what? It's going. Antline wire leads over here, as you probably already heard. It's dropping cubes endlessly. It's not, at least it's not making the annoying fizzling sound. That can get old after a while. Now, initially how the test is supposed to go is you grab the cube and pull it all the way around the grating. And yeah, I give you that little area to just rest it on. How he did it was like this, catching it like this, which I'm also cool with. Like I say, I'm not going to argue. Now, in future tests, when I do want you to grab it around, I probably will make this non-portable. But I have no argument against it. It's just about how you. It's just about solving the test and how you feel, how you think it out. I find it really curious. Okay, let's go over here. I'm really good at this game. He actually did the exact same thing, and get rid of that turret. Now, we don't want to put another cube here. Why don't we want to put another cube here? Because it will fizzle one of these 2 cubes depending on which one it is. So that being said, let's go over here. We're going to take each of our cubes and just drag them over because we have nothing better to do with them. And yeah, they're both right there. Now, this area I find for most people is very hidden. It just has that edgeless safety cube. Remember that back in the beginning where you needed that? Here's this button. No signage, no antline, so what does it do? Well, if the cube will properly get on, of course it's a line of sight puzzle. I love doing those. So let's put a portal over here. Let's open one over here as well. And now we have full access into that chamber. Let's actually not put the portal there quite yet. We're going to put this here so the cube goes over here. Close that off. Now both cubes are in there. And now we can jump over. Okay. Yeah, I knew I was going to do that. Alright, I'm back, and you'll see something funny in the gag reel at the end, because I completely screwed up on the way back. And I was afraid I would miss it again there. Okay, let's actually go on. So now we're in this long hallway. Now, gross. Now I have a funny story about this grating. Basically, I was running through the test, I was playtesting it, and essentially what happened is the ball kept on rolling into the water. The ball rolls into the water, and you have the gates closed. That means you're screwed. So whatever you do, don't destroy the ball in here, and you really can't unless it's your own stupid fault. If you, like, purposely throw it over the edge. Now, if it gets caught behind here or something, that's understandable. I'm sorry in advance, but that's not supposed to happen. That's a glitch in the game, and I don't consider that particularly my fault. Now, yeah, portal across this hallway, just across the poison water. I just wanted you to travel quickly, so I decided, okay, let's give him a threat and have him completely avoid it. This. Laser grid looks like it's turned off from here. Luckily, he caught that in his video. So happy he caught that in his video, because that's not intentional. If you walk into this thinking it's off, that's not how it's supposed to go. I wish you could customize that artwork a little bit so that you could tell it's on better. Let's just drag both cubes through here. We need to make them all travel. Now, if you don't go back for the cubes, like I say, you're screwed. Why else would I give you 2 cubes? There's no way to get over there. There's absolutely no way to get over there without frying yourself unless you crawl like this. So hold down control and crawl. Make sure you're really clear of the laser field too, because this extends pretty far. There we go. After that, you don't have to drag the cubes through one at a time. You can just portal them like that. What do we have here? Something for this ball to go on. No, it's not the ball to the exit, but it's still a ball. Let's go out here, and you'll see what room you're in just a minute. I'm sure a lot of you already know what room you're in. Luckily, if you do, complete props. Let's drag the ball through because you are going to need that, as you will see in a minute. Now, it's intended that you find that out for yourself. Let's just go through here and see that we're back at the beginning. Now, why would I take you back to the beginning? Why would I run you full circle? Well, one, there's that. So that's the key that you need to go back for the ball. I didn't actually give you too much trouble there, I think. I think it's honestly fine the way I did it. The only threat to the ball, the only complaint I would have is that the ball can roll into the emancipation grid fairly easily. Like, as you can see, it's already starting to move that way. So let's just kick it that way a little bit. We're also going to do this the easy way and move both of these without making them fall anymore. And move them both in from this momentum chamber. Now, you'll remember from before, if you go through this emancipation grid again, that you have these 3 cubes, and we couldn't do anything about them earlier. I didn't expect you to. I didn't even explain it or anything. I completely skipped past it and went to the logical steps, the things that you can do. Now that you have 3 cubes sitting out there, you can actually use these. So let's press this button. If it'll actually press. Did it press? No, I'm not wearing my headset. I have the headset on. There we go. That's the MMR. What are you looking for? And now we can actually, I'm going to grab the ball first, and put it over this way so that it doesn't roll into the emancipation grid. And we're just going to drag each one of these cubes through one at a time. We have no use for the momentum chamber at all for the rest of the test. So let's go over here, 1 cube, 1 cube. I didn't want you placing them one at a time. I just wanted you to grab all 3 cubes and put them there. Now we can move on to like the last third or so of the test. So grab your ball, since you still can't do anything else with it, and wait in this long chamber. Now, I didn't want you portaling, and I wanted you holding onto the ball the entire time. There's really not much of a way to get over there. I suppose you can go over there, I suppose you can portal over there, but you might as well ride the thing while you're here. I mean, it is fun, after all. I'm really proud of this lighting. I do have to say, I am super proud of the lighting here. It's just lights on one side, and it gives it a nice effect from overhead. You can see that there's a nice amount of shadows. It leaves it dim enough to where it feels real, but bright enough to where you can see, and it doesn't feel scary. Frankly, it really doesn't. The platforms, I wish they were on time. I really do. But I don't think I can do anything about that, which is sad, but you know, life's life. I'm just making my way back real quick because I did die later on in the map, and I just wanted to say that this area was also slightly based off of Test Chamber 19 from the original Portal, mainly with the addition of that platform over there, and how you had to ride around that corner with that particular grading. So that's just a side note right there. Now we're going to actually complete the map, thank you. And I also wanted to give you a nice ride for the end game portion of this, because like I say, it's less of the last third and more the last fourth or so of the map. So as you can see here, you've got this nice bright room with the observation room in it, and you can instantly see turrets here too. Now you don't want the ball to roll that way because there's an emancipation grid that you can't see over there, because I was dumb. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave the ball up here. We're going to rush on down here. This entire room is non-portalable. Entire room. For good reason. Let's press the button. You get like 25 ticks or so to go over here. The emancipation grid turns off, and suddenly you have the ball right here at the exit. Such an easy exit because I figure he'll forget to bring the ball with him. Honestly, I do. Now you don't have to kill the turrets. Obviously, I made it that way on purpose, to where you just don't have to kill the turrets. I'm going to because it's fun. And I'm apparently going to get shot in the process. Hey, I haven't died one. Oh, okay. Now I'm dying. Alright, anyway, now that I've actually made it through the entire map again, because like I say, I can't F6 it in my own editor. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the map. I hope you enjoy NORD's reaction to it, and I will link it in the description below. I'm not going to kill those turrets this time, but I will finish the test chamber like I should. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't stop dwelling. I'll probably have this in as a gag reel at the end, where I'm just sitting here going through the test again because I can't F6 anything in the test editor. So now here I am just rushing through it as fast as I can. Bam. Let's get you out of here. Why'd I think of this stupid test? Ah! I don't know what I'm doing. Why do you watch me? Why do you even watch me? What compels you to watch someone as weird as me? Alright, let's throw you here. I know I said not to do that earlier, but hey, you know what? We can do whatever we want. I may have mentioned that I was going to create it on camera, but I decided against that, as it just seemed more fitting for me to think it out at my own pace without having to worry about anything, and then play it through in front of you guys and tell you what I'm thinking. So without further ado, let's just jump in and I'll tell you my thought process, how I decided to go through everything. Let's not jump through because this is a completely different map. This is not Quest of the Nord. It keeps on messing up, and I have to rebuild the whole test. So I will be right back.